Welcome to the Gentleman's Talk, where the podcast talks about a man's battle with mental health, his personal experiences, and his journey to be a better soul. Hosted by James Dean Littlejohn.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Gentleman's Talk. How are we? Hopefully, I'm your host with the mostest, James Dean Littlejohn, and I am hopefully going to be joined by the Banterman Billy in the next couple of minutes, so we can have a chattering. Oh, actually, Christ, I better take this mic off because we won't be able to hear him, because I know that's a bit of a problem. Sorry about that. Normally I've got my mic on, but for some reason this doesn't work. But anyway, hope you're okay. So yeah, I've had a good conversation earlier on with my friend, and we decided we'd do a live. So jumped on, and I love these lives because I get to really, I don't know, just get to relax, get to really enjoy. So yeah, it's oh, there we go. It's just told me I'm live, so we'll see if he comes on in a mo. So yeah, so I don't know. It's been a since my podcast. One of the things I'm finding the most difficult at the moment is the motivational factor. I'm finding it very difficult. I lose interest when I don't get. I don't know, it's like gets results and all this sort of stuff. And it's kind of weird how my mind works. And it's very much revolves around, I think, the ADHD aspect, which I'm learning about. And I just kind of lose interest. And I find it really hard to get motivated. I lose interest in everything now. I lose interest in life. And I'm trying to manage that by keeping focused, keeping on point, and doing the things that I enjoy. So I have done quite a few things in the last couple of weeks to try and change the dynamic of my life, which is getting into golf. So I've been playing a little bit of golf, and I'm actually really, really enjoying it. I've been getting into some runs, as you've probably heard in the previous podcasts. I've been going running, so I'm back on just doing 2 or 3 days a week where I go out for a 3 to 4K run. Like I said, I'm not busting any marathons. I'm not Mo Farah, but I am trying. So for me, absolutely imperative that I keep focused. But one of the things I have struggled with, and hence the reason why I really tried to call my mate on today, and I said, look, mate, we need a chat. We need to catch up later on. And he was like, yeah, no problems at all, mate. We'll have a chat. And then I was like, actually, should we just do a live? And we can just talk, and it's a way that we can relax and we can chat. I can listen to him. He can listen to me. We can get other people involved. And hopefully, I enjoy those. I really do. I actually enjoy those more than I do talking about the podcast. I mean, I still enjoy the podcast very much. I love doing the private time, and where I just talk about my feelings. And I'm just trying to give you a little bit more sort of quality over quantity. So before I was rushing into things, probably done about a year's worth of podcasts in the space of about 6 months, because I'm just excited. I love helping people. I really do. And this morning, I jumped onto the Diversity and Inclusion Advisors seminar, this brief we have, jumped on to sort of volunteer, and got myself involved in loads of things. So the diversity and inclusion side of things is taking grasp inside my working life as well. So absolutely trying to make leaps and bounds in my own mental health and see how I, cope with these things. Here he is now, man. Here he is. Billster. There he is, mate. How's it going?
Hey, dude. You okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Sweet. I think this is the first time it's actually worked. First time, isn't it?
It is, mate. I was preempting. I took the mic off and everything else, and I just went, now try and do the things that I know normally screw up, but first round.
Nice.
Oh. How are you, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm knackered, mate. Absolutely knackered. I had quite a long day at work today. Quite a successful day at work, but then straight away, as soon as I got in, she was like, "Do you want to go? You want to go shopping?" And I thought, "Yeah, okay, I could get a few bits from Lidl's or what have you." Oh, mate, we done the lot. We done the round robin. We done Lidl's, B&M's, Poundland, Asda.
Oh, you did the Sunday. That's the Sunday routine, mate.
Oh God, exhausting.
A Thursday job, mate.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not a Thursday job at all. But we got family coming this weekend, so had to get some stuff.
Oh, amazing, mate. Yeah, like you say, it's always crazy when you got to do that. Are they coming over for the full weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, good, nice, mate. Yeah.
So
yeah, so I'm just literally talking about it, just saying about how we were catching up earlier on. We thought we'd jump on a podcast, and it's always good to get live. I enjoy the interaction. It's almost like the tea bar, isn't it? You know, we just sat in the tea bar, you're just chewing the fat, and I miss those days. You don't tend to get them nowadays in work, especially. Mainly, I work from home, and when I do go into work, I don't think I go into work enough to actually have decent conversations with people. So I do kind of miss that sort of sit down and chat, chew the fat, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. I do say to people all the time, you know, the kettle's always on, the coffee's always hot, you know, come round, and hardly anyone ever does. Do you know what I mean? And when they do, it's usually like at the end of the day, or just as the coffee pot's running low, and you go, oh well, you know, I'll make another pot, and then they feel like not obliged, but they're like, oh no, it's okay, don't worry about it, I'll just go, and then you think, no, please stay.
Yeah, I know, mate. Gone are the days where people just I think to be honest, I see kind of why, and put aside the whole, you know, working from home thing. But I think it's also down to the fact that we're just pushed more in our jobs. So we don't get the time like we used to socialise and stuff like that. And I mean, I tremendously miss it. And you know, it's one of those things where I do miss sitting down and just talking and getting to know people. And it's okay doing it by phone, but, you know, face to face, mate, you just can't beat a face to face cup of tea and a biscuit and just chat shit, you know?
Totally agree, mate. I totally agree. It's almost a dying art now, and I honestly think, mate, that in, let's say, you know, 15 years' time, we're going to have a big no, what's the word? We're going to have a big proportion of society that are really lacking personal skills. Do you know what I mean? Because everything is done now remotely, online, by headset. But do you know what I mean? By camera, and you know, a lot of people, especially kids with autism and stuff like that, they can't work out what people's emotions and facial expressions mean, can they? And they have trouble working it out. And I think that we might have a bit of a problem in years' time, mate, where people just can't work out social situations.
Mate, I was literally looking at this the other day, and I was just doing a bit of research, just trying to keep my mind active on mental health and men's mental health and everything, you know, just trying to keep myself in the shell. And they were saying that at the moment there's going to be that, like as you've said, there's going to be some big problems in the future, and that's going to be men are concentrating more on themselves and actually trying to look after themselves. So they're taking less shit. They're opening up a bit more. And that's actually causing problems now in relationships, because men are going, actually, you're being a fucking bit of a knob. And I inherently, not all just men that are getting treated that way, but, you know, we do get that stigmatism, you know, that we are supposed to do this and achieve. And then also you look at the other fact, mate, where all of the kids, the men, everything, you know, boys, girls, whatever, all of their social skills, all of their dating skills, all of their educational skills, everything has all been done through social media and virtual. Yeah. So it's like my daughter doesn't get it. Like, she doesn't understand. Like, I can say things that I would probably say is, I don't know, 10% of the banter that I would say if I walked into a man's man environment, if you say, you know, because you have to be a little bit cautious when we're still professionals, we're still men, we still like to be a bit polite, so we don't go dropping the C-bombers in front of women as loosely as we would around a bunch of men. But at the same time, I can have 10% of my personality and my banter with my children, and they think I'm being truly offensive. And you're like, oh, they read me wrong. And they're like, people say that, oh, it's really hard to read you. And I'm like, I'm not, actually. I'm quite simple. I'm not, you know, there is an emotional side to me. But at the same time, I'm not that difficult to read, I don't think. But then maybe I'm biased. But I think it's just a case of nobody knows what to do, how to interpret things, or how to talk, how to, you know, what communication really is.
It's a massive skill fade, I reckon. It's it's only going to get more and more and worse, I imagine, in the next few years, especially when, will it? Because will job interviews be done virtually now? Will you ever meet the manager?
The thing is, they are, mate.
I know.
I've done my last 2 interviews, even with a panel of 4 people, was done via Teams. Never saw my face. Just literally, it was all done virtually. I put my submission in. I got accepted, sifted. I went to a Teams interview and saw 4 pictures with the little sound, the little icon flashing to say they were talking. So I knew that was the person talking. I passed my interview. I then emailed everybody to say, hi, welcome. And the first time I saw the person that interviewed me and passed everything was 3 weeks after I'd started via a Teams call.
Wow, man.
Where's the social interaction in that, mate? And especially I look at this from my perspective. Okay. So I'm quite hard work. You know that, in a sense. I'm quite an emotional person. I do take things offensively. I am very protective. I get that. I'm trying to change that way. But if you
understatement of the century.
Yeah, of course. But I accept that. But if you could you imagine though, just knowing me for this period of time, could you imagine just dealing with me via text message?
Oh, mate,
I would be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And so everybody I've dealt with in the whole of my organisation, 95% of it has all been dealt with via email. The 5% that are dealt with email and I've been out to see completely see a different person when they meet me. They're like, we didn't expect this, mate. They were like, you're literally down to earth. And I'm like, because you're reading the emotion of my email, and I come across as quite abrupt. I want shit done. I'm very direct because I think that's the easiest way to be. But that's not my personality in life. In life, I'm like, let's jump off a bridge. Let's have some fucking good times. Let's not jump off a bridge like in a traumatic way, by the way. I must caveat that. I meant like base jumping or something stupid like that. I literally, as soon as I said it, I had a picture in my head of jumping off a bridge, and I said it, and I went, well, I didn't describe the bridge jumping off for the base jumping thing.
You're talking 1960s Americana. Let's go fishing off a bridge and then jump in the river after.
Exactly, mate. But you don't. But you don't get that, mate. And I saw the first time I physically saw my boss was after 3 months, and she said, "Let's go in for a job. Meet me in work, and we'll have a chat." And she saw me, and she was like, "You're just a completely different person to face." And I'm like, because I'm a direct professional person via text message. I don't fuck around. I say it as it is, and but face to face, I'll digress and have a good time.
Well, it's the same, mate, as a couple of times you've taken what I've said the wrong way because you haven't heard me say it or seen me say it. So, for instance, a prime example is, let's say someone by text says, "Can you pop up and see me?" Right? You can read that as, "James, can you pop up and see me?" And you go, fuck, I'm in the shit. Or you could read it as, "Hey, James, can you pop up and see me?" Yeah. And you'll go, "Oh, sweet, it's coffee time." Yeah. Do you know what I mean, mate? And by not having that face-to-face interaction, the same sentence can be taken 100 different ways.
Well, and that's why I've had to switch from text messaging you lot, like you yourself especially, and because I don't want that transition to be lost in writing. So I voice message so I can actually show emotion. And do you know what I mean? For me, I get more out of it because I see, especially if you were like, earlier on when you were like, I've got some positive feedback, some negative feedback. If you'd have written that down, I'd have taken that as all negative.
Really?
I would. If you'd have written down about the you'd have said, "Oh, fucking yeah, good podcast, mate," or whatever. And little negative one though, mate. When you, for future reference, don't leave that in the background because it played. And I listened to it earlier on, and I went fucking 100% right. But because you told it to me, I went on there. I can't edit it, so I just deleted it. I was like, I can redo that podcast, and I'll just make it a bit better. But at the same time, if you'd have sent me that via text message, mate, I would have just fixated, especially if you'd have put it in that context, because most people go good, then bad. You're supposed to add good at the end of it, because that's the way it fluffs us up. But if you'd have done that, I'd have gone, he's a fucking dick, mate. He's just basically, so No, I would have done. I would have gone. So you've not given me any feedback for 2 weeks, and now all of a sudden you say that podcast that I did fucking 2 weeks ago was shit. Fuck you, mate.
Yeah,
That's
but no,
what
I did do. I done the bathtub method. I started off I gave you 2 good positives.
Yeah, I know.
Then I gave you 1 point to improve, and then I finished on. By the way, mate, got some presents for you.
Yeah, I know you did. And do you know what? I read it like a book, mate. But at the same time, my brain goes, he's a fucking penis. He just went negative. I didn't obviously think that because we'd spoken. So, but if I'd have read that in a text message or an email, I would have absolutely gone, and I probably would have replied in a sense, unless I'd calmed down, saying, mate, thanks for that. Next time, can you give me feedback a little bit on the other ones if you're going to contradict that one? That's where my brain would have gone.
Right, you're backtracking, mate. Last podcast, stop taking things literal.
No. What I'm saying is that's what I would have done. That's why I don't. No. Listen to me. Come on. I'm not being serious. You dickhead. What I'm saying is,
like, you should have finished on a positive then.
No, I didn't finish on a positive. I was getting to the positive. So the positive's coming. Listen, what I said was, that's why I've switched to voices and talking, because I can interpret it better. So for me, I was like fucking spot on, went and listened and went, fucking hell, fair play. He's absolutely right. I sound like a right muppet. So I deleted it, wrote down the crux of what I was talking about, and thought, oh, epic, I'll redo that. And then I went on and learned how to edit podcasts. So I got loads out of it, loads of positives, mate. But what I'm saying is, if I'd have just dealt with that by reading it and not listening to your fucking harmonious voice, then I would have completely and utterly misinterpreted that.
Okay, James.
Do you see where I went with that? You went instantly negative there, mate.
You need to calm down. Take a breath.
Oh my God.
Being so aggressive.
You literally took me right back there. You bastard. How's your running going anyway?
Oh, mate, this is what I wanted to talk to you about today.
Oh, okay.
So, like when we last spoke, come on, I was on this high, man. I was real happy.
Were, mate. You were like you were taking full on drugs.
Right. Well, I went. I had to go on a couple of courses with work. I had to go away at work, right? And I haven't done any phys this week. What was it? I could have gone, but I had something crop up in work, and I was like, okay, right, I'll miss it out this time. And then swimming pool shut, so I can't go and do my swim. And then tomorrow, I've got to do more stuff, so I can't go and do any phys tomorrow morning in the gym and that. And then of course the family's coming up, so I'm not going to do anything. Now I have been dog walking, but mate, it ain't enough. And I'm from being on cloud 9. The only thing that's changed is I ain't done any phys, mate, for the last couple of weeks, and I'm on a plateau at the minute. I'm not feeling as good every day as I was, and it's not the weather, because the weather's been absolutely gleaming, full sunshine. I can only put it down, and mate, I'm ratty as well. I'm really ratty.
Mate, see, and this is I can't emphasize how much fitness works, mate.
It really does, mate. And I've shied away from it for so long.
No, and I'm the same, mate. And do you know what, mate? I told you, like I said in my last podcast, mate, absolutely, like, full on supported. Listening to you was purely infectious, mate. I was like, fucking hell, like, I've got you saying, like, this is happening, I'm doing this, fucking rah, rah, rah. You were engaging every day. And I was like, this guy is on a fucking high, mate. I came away from my last podcast like super happy, because I was talking to Nelly. Nelly was on his diet sort of thing. He was going on to his keto side of things. He was doing extra bits on his walks. And I was like, sat there going, like, I'm just surrounded by people that want to fucking change and do a bit of phys. So I inspired me. And then I set myself little goals. Like I said, mate, I'm not doing fucking big runs, but I went out. I hadn't done it for 4 days. And I went out today in the like peak heat. My missus said I was fucking stupid. And I went, no, because I just want to make sure I do it. And already tonight, I would have probably deleted this and just gone, nah, I'm not going to do another podcast. But straight away, I came in, I fucking cleaned up, mate, cooked some dinner. Back knowing I was coming on this podcast because I'd been for a run and got everything going again,
Mate, squares you away, doesn't it? It really does.
And it's only 3K, mate. It's fucking nothing. It takes me literally, it's 4K, takes me 17 minutes. So I'm not sprinting. I'm literally just bumbling along, mate. And I just enjoy it. And I think to myself, what is 17 minutes in a 24-hour day?
I know, mate. I know. But the thing is, don't play it down. Don't play it down, mate. You're getting out there. You're smashing it. It might only be, like you say, only 3K. But to other people, mate, 3K is a lot,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to get better. Like I said, it's I don't want to go max. I'm not going fucking stupid. But for me, it's just about I wanted something that was manageable. Because, like I said, I wasn't feeling great yesterday. You know me. I go every now and then. I go into these little quiet spells, and I try to get myself out of it. So I did. I didn't do anything yesterday, and I was really negative. I fucking was like quitting my job. I was fucking all over the. And then today I went. No, I was going to call in sick, and I went, and I've never done that. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I came to work, done my training, did my fucking day, put my boss in his place because he was being a bit of a fucking idiot. And then I moved on. And then I just went, brilliant. I went out for a run, went for a dog walk, went for my reflection walk, and then set up this podcast, mate. And I was like, that is the most productive day for somebody who feels horrendous. And I feel great. And here I am now, not even tired. It's 9:20.
Man, that's just so sweet. I am at the minute. I'm the opposite, mate. I am lethargic. I've come in from work the last couple of days, sat on the sofa, fallen asleep, had a kip. Mate, honestly, I've been ratty the last couple of days to the wife, and even today, like
What's
so.
You get out
What?
What's stopping you from getting out then?
Oh, I don't know.
What's stopping you from getting out?
Well, you got to remember, so these fizz sessions that I was doing before were structured. They were, turn up at this time because we're doing it. Nothing's stopping me, mate. Nothing is stopping me. I could finish work and go and have a run, or go down the gym or whatever. I'm just not. I've got into that dip at the minute where I'm going, oh, I'm fat. I can't be arsed. Oh, I'm best have a can of drink instead and watch the telly and stuff like that. I'm just in that rut at the minute, so I need to get out of it. And I think tomorrow maybe I'm gonna try and find some space. I've got a couple of meetings and what have you, but then I'm going to find some space to just go and just have a little run around.
Right, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here, mate.
Yeah.
If I sounded like you, yeah, what would you say to me? If I'd have said if I'd have said to you exactly what you said now, I might try and find some time tomorrow, you would have fucking hand on heart turned around to me and said, no, you won't maybe find some time. Get out and do it, mate. You know how it feels amazing. That's exactly what you said to me 2 weeks ago. Or is it about 2 weeks ago when we last fucking spoke, and you were like, mate, you need to get out. I feel fucking amazing. Rah, rah, rah. Well, I'm just paying the compliment back, mate. Get the fuck out there, mate, and just do something. Even if it's go to the gym in the morning and just go do a fucking 2K run and just get to work, mate. Put your fucking thing on just to say you've done it. The endorphins will be released, mate.
You're right, mate. You're right. I will. I will. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up early, and I'm just going to have a quick bimble around.
Just go for a
maybe 3.1K.
Obviously, mate.
Just to say, I've done that a little bit more than you.
Touche, mate. Touche. Very competitive, which means you've still got a bit of drive in there, mate.
So, I will. I'm going to do something tomorrow before work starts. That's when I think the key thing is before work starts. So you've got it out of the way. You're not having that not dread, but you're not thinking, oh, God, I've got to do that thing later on, and I've got to go to the gym later on, blah, blah, blah.
Julian says, get a bike, mate.
Oh, God, I tell you, do you know what the worst thing is about having a bike, right, is a wet saddle.
It's a wet saddle and fucking storing it, mate. Rusty fucking chain.
Yeah.
So how are you finding it, mate? Settled in now, mate? You feel comfortable?
All settled in, apart from, mate, it's weird. And I don't know whether it's up in my head, but it just seems that this time moving house has just been a long, drawn-out process, and we're still not at the stage where I can go, do you know what, the house is set. because we lived in the other house for so long. Yeah. We had you had your place for everything, and we'd obviously bought stuff, and we went, oh, that'll go lovely there, and that belongs there, and this and that. Whereas this time, it's we still haven't put all the pictures up, and because we don't know where we want them, and it's just a totally different layout of the house, and maybe stuff that we went, oh yeah, that was perfect in that place in the house. Maybe this time it's just, why bother putting it up? So there's still stuff outstanding. I mean, I've got there's a TV in the bedroom here. We've got it on the side. I've got a bracket for it, but I'm nervous about drilling into the bloody wall to put the bracket up for the telly. Because you know about me and tools and that. The last time I bought a stud finder, I had to take it back to the shop. It kept beeping all the time, constantly. Turns out I had it the wrong way round. It was just pointing at me.
Dick, mate. I was waiting for it. You're such a dick. That was the most intense draw out, mate. I was going, he's not going to fucking say this on a live podcast, is he? He fucking is. He's going for it. He's all in. He's balls deep.
Yeah. So
I normally, mate, if I want a stud finder, mate, I just get a mirror.
Oh no, mate. Anyway, so there's stuff just outstanding, but so we had a big delivery today, though. So very, eh? Yeah, that's true, Julian. That is true. At least I don't live where I hate. No, and I'm really enjoying being here, mate. And it is what it is. But what do you mean delivery?
You said you got a big delivery.
Big delivery today, mate. So I'm very, very jealous of the clock and balls.
Yeah.
So we ordered a bar.
Nice.
Yeah. So we've got a bar, and I told you about the new house has got this big kitchen with just this space where nothing, we've got nothing to put there. It's just a space. So my wife said, why don't we get a bar? And I said, it's a bit of extra money, and we're going to have to pay to get it delivered and stuff like that. She said, oh, why don't you make one? And I was like, look, I ain't got the time at the minute to be working out buying wood and doing all that stuff. So anyway, in the end, she just said, right, we're doing it. So she found a guy that delivers to here, and we bought a bar, and it turned up today. Now, normally things like this are in like flat pack, build them yourself. Not this bad boy, mate. This was fully assembled, right? Massive. And of course, I've just said to you, I was getting ratty, right? Trying to get this thing fully assembled. So it's an L-shaped bar, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get this thing in the house. Oh my God. I was sort of like, yeah, absolute nightmare, mate. And I'm there, and I'm going, I've got one end, she's got the other end, and I'm like, okay, right, put that end down, turn that way, twist that this way. And of course, if she's not doing it instantly the way I want to say it, and I'm clearly not explaining it right, but I'm going, right, put that down, twist it, because we're going to do this and do that, and I'm not telling her right. She's not doing it the way I want to do it, and I'm going, for fuck's sakes, just listen to what I'm fucking saying. And then, of course, that's going wrong. So this was just before lunch, so I managed to sort of get it in the house, twisted it around, I managed to get it into the hallway, but now we've got to get it into the kitchen down this long hallway, blah blah blah. Talk about first world problems, but in the end, mate, I just put it down. I said, I've got to go. And she says, what do you mean you got to go? I said, I've just got to go. I've got to go and chill out. And I had to go away.
Smash this up.
Yeah. I was like, I've just got to shoot out. And I went away for like 15, 20 minutes. And so in my head, I was trying to work out Krypton Factor style. For all the worldwide listeners, used to be an old program in the 90s. And it was like a challenge program. You had to sort of like do mental tasks and physical tasks and stuff like that.
Krypton Factor.
Yeah, Krypton Factor. And it finished, didn't it? It finished with the Royal Marines.
Royal Marines, yeah.
Yeah, at the end, doing the assault course. Yeah. Anyway, so I was working out in my head how I'm going to do it. Come back, and she was there, and she'd unwrapped it all, because that was one of the dramas. The bloody bubble wrap and all the padding and stuff was just massive, so it weren't. Yeah. So she unwrapped it all, mate. And once I had that 15, 20 minutes calm down, I went, right, this is the way we're going to do it. Listen to what I say, and we're going to get through this. No dramas, mate. Went straight in, through the living room, twisted it round, through to the dining room, twisted it round, through back into the kitchen, fitted perfect, mate. And it is looking sweet.
Nice. So in that scenario, mate, I've got a similar thing, but I would say that probably worked because your missus unwrapped the wrapping. Because the amount of times, mate, that I have done something and she's just like taken her time, or she's read the instructions and I've come in and she's moved it a certain way and looks at me and goes like, "Oh, I think we need to do this," and almost like she's implemented it in my mind, and I make out that it's me that's done it, and she looks at me and goes, "Well done," and I go, "Yeah, I fucking did that." And then there's another scenario, mate, where I don't know. Have I ever told you about the bath panel?
No.
Okay, so I was going to I was putting up the front bath panels that go on the bath. They're those little plastic things normally.
Yeah.
They go on So basically, mate, I was fit. We had kids, so every time you leaned on to wash their hair, we broke the plastic one. It had cracks in it, which was because we were leaning against it. So every time we were leaning in to wash fucking kids, I was battering the fucking shit out of it. So anyway, we went and bought a wooden one, just a flat wooden one, and all I had to do was cut a little L shape out and fit it into the front to make it look nice. Anyway, digress. So I was fitting it, mate, but because the house was off camber by about 3 mil, it didn't fit. So I had to just basically, what you should have done really was just, shave a little bit off with a
shave a little bit off. Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't. I carried on putting it in until I ripped it out. I didn't say a fucking word to anybody. And this was like an £80 panel, mate. I took it outside, mate, and I absolutely beat 7 shades of living shit out of this fucking panel with a hammer, mate. My missus, all she heard, because I didn't say a word, I just walked past everyone. She went, "What are you doing?" And I just looked at her, and she went, "Is he going to cut it?" And then I was outside, mate. She didn't hear a word. She just looked over, and I was in the carport, mate, and she just saw this psychotic fucking bastard beating the shit out of this bit of wood because I was like, "You will not fucking beat me." So my missus went, and all I did was I walked in, I grabbed my tools that were on the side, and I said to her, we need a new bath panel. And that's all I said. And I walked on. And I said, "Oh, no, I didn't." I said, "We need a new bath panel, and I'm not fitting the next one. My dad is." Yeah, that is a true fucking story, man. That is why because I don't do what you did, walk away 15 minutes. I just get angry, and so I destroy everything, and then it goes in place, and I go, "Well, it's okay. Well, I either need a new one, or it fits."
Well, mate, I haven't always been this guy to walk away 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Chill out. Like my missus now knows the worst thing that she can say to me is calm down, because that doesn't make me calm down. That makes me go, no. I'm gonna sort this out by crushing it, by absolutely, like same as you, smashing it to bits, and it's it doesn't solve anything. In fact, it ends up costing you money, doesn't it?
Well, every time I get angry, it's costing money. It's not a case of like you think you'd learn.
Mate, I don't know what you're doing, but your mic is really low. Can't hear you.
Oh, is it?
There you go. Be back now.
Sorry, mate. Is that better?
Yeah, it was like you were muffled, mate.
Sorry, mate. It's probably I lost a bit of signal. Seems to be a bit sporadic out here, mate, at the moment.
Rog.
But anyway, yeah. So, but I'm learning to get better. I am learning to take 5 minutes and breathe. I'm learning that. That's like I said to you earlier on in the podcast. We were talking about it, my last one, where I said, I'm not worrying about what people think of me. I'm not worrying about what people say about me. I'm just enjoying life, trying to.
Yeah.
Yes, I have good days, mate. I have really bad days, and I have average days. Like everybody. I'm not saying I'm special in any shape or form. For me, it's just about I don't know how to manage it properly. I've never really been sort of kind of shown. So for me, this bit's invaluable, and then the feedback that I get from you is invaluable because I get to learn about it. And also, I think that for me, being open and honest has really helped in the sense that people understand me as well. So that, like, when you get to know me properly, like the proper me, like I think if you just knew me via passing, but probably a bit like you, if you knew you in passing or, whatever or through text or email or whatever, I don't think you'd probably get the true Billy or the true James. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you would. I think you would just be, when you see someone face to face, you open up, you see the proper them.
Yeah, but mate, that is like these. I've got over 1,000 Facebook friends, and I would say 3/4 of them I never even met, mate. Never even met them. I've just got the same hobby, or I've ended. I don't know. I've been fishing, and when I used to do my fishing videos and that, they've added me on there. Yeah. And sometimes, when you look, you're scrolling through your Facebook or whatever you're doing, you're scrolling through and you go, God, that guy or that girl is, really lucky. Really lucky. They are always doing fantastic things. They are always doing great stuff. They're always out and about. They've got a great relationship. Their kids are really having a great time. But it's not real, man. It's not real. You said to me earlier, didn't you? Said to me, hey, that looked at like that breakaway you had was absolutely fantastic. And don't get me wrong, it was decent. It was really good. But I said to you straight away, I said, mate, listen, I'm not going to put the crappy photos up. No, exactly. Not a chance. I'm not going to put the picture of that I stepped in dog shit and it went up all my brand new white trainers. You know what I mean? I'm not putting that photo up, mate.
No, and the thing, and you know what? It's like, I don't know whether because of the ADHD or the PTSD, whatever, and it's not putting a label on it because I'm trying to move away from that and just go, this is who I am, move on. But to label it in the sense of trying to learn about it, I think that from where I am now to where I was even just 6 months ago when I started to try and control the mental health and grasp it and be a better person, I think even now I think that, all right, I was quite harsh. I have removed a lot of people and I took the negative approach to move completely away from all social media, from everything. But now I'm slowly controlling my own mental health. I am looking at social media in the right way, as in like, do I really care about them? No, not really. But it's nice to see them every now and then. It's nice to see the good photos of me. Like I've even had people say it to me, Christ, James, you're always doing something. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I always put photos up that make it look like I'm doing something, but it might only be for an hour. You don't realize that, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, all afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and I might not do anything, but then I go and play golf for an hour on a Sunday morning. That's only an hour, but that one photo makes it look like I spent the whole day there if you're looking at life through those glasses.
Yeah.
So I'm learning, and I think that we, it's really difficult, I think, because I grew up with social media without social media. I grew up with nothing. We didn't have fucking mobile phones, for Christ's sake. It was pages that broke into, my adulthood.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I used to be jealous when I saw one of my mates got a pager, mate.
Mate, honestly. I loved my pager. I fucking mate, when you get through little text messages and stuff and you just be like, oh, be there in 10 or whatever, just get random bird ones. Even when you had a girlfriend, you'd try and page them something really rude because someone was typing that text message for you. and I tell you what, mate, but that was fun side of social media. And I think to me, I think social media, if you've got the ability to focus on it and the ability to use it in the right way, and that I think is the route that I've taken, as in just have the people that really care about wanting to see me for me, not the fake. Don't look for the fake likes. Don't look for the thousands of fake likes. Just look for the 3, 4, 5 or 6 people that truly care about you and you truly care about them, that at least say, I acknowledge your photo. I think fucking fab day, mate. Can't wait to catch up or something. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of way I look at social media now, because before, and especially if you've got a mental health condition or you might be suffering from stress, depression, whatever, your well-being will naturally be low. And if you're watching all these people do that, then that's really, really fucking bad on your mental health, because you're seeing everyone having loads of fun and you're not. The reality is, they're not having just as much fun as you. You can have the same fun. You're just in a really bad place. And that's where you need to, pull yourself out of that rut and put social media aside and work on yourself.
I totally agree, mate. And I am very, very guilty, extremely guilty. I must have at least 100, not 100, but at least, 50 people maybe that I've messaged in the last 6 months. And I've said, it's been too long, mate. We need to meet up for a beer.
Yeah.
And guess what? How many people have I fucking met up with at a beer? Probably none. Yeah. But
None.
The other day, I told you, so it was one of the days that we kept missing each other, and I was phoning you, and then you missed my phone call, and then you'd phone me and I wouldn't bloody answer. And that it was that day. And I said to you, I met up with my mate, right?
Yeah.
Now, me and him weren't particularly close mates. We knew each other through, the old workplace.
Yeah.
He's out the army now. Been out the army for 2 years. I can't believe it's been 2 years now. Anyway, I just not tagged myself. What's it called when you check in? I just checked in on Facebook.
Check in. Yeah.
At a place near where I was staying last week on the course, and he messaged me out of blue. He said, "Mate, I'm nearby. Do you want to meet up?" And it was sort of like, yeah, there's no reason why I shouldn't. Yeah, let's meet up. So I messaged him. I said, "Listen, I'm just doing this, but then I can meet you tomorrow. How about we meet at a pub nearby?" Yep, no dramas. And to be fair, mate, I messaged him and I said, "Hey, mate, right, I'm like 3 minutes away from this pub. How long are you going to be?" And he went, "I'm only 55 minutes away." Now, 55 minutes driving for me is like a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I know like people in America and Australia, 55 minutes is nothing. But
that's a trip to the shops, mate.
Yeah. And anyway, he said, "I'm 55 minutes away, so I'll see you then." And I went, "All right, okay, sweet. Bloody, I didn't realise he was that far away." Anyway, turned up, mate. We met at this pub. Great to see him, mate. And he's doing really, really well. Really, really well.
Good.
And I was kind of worried because I was like, "Oh, we're both driving, so we can't get on it or anything like that." And I got there before him clearly, and I had a Guinness, and like between us, like we had 1 pint each, and then about 4 Cokes. We just got lost in catching up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was great. It was great seeing him, and he consciously made that effort. And he said to me, sort of like during our conversations, that he said when you get out the army and that, he said, you really have to try hard to meet up with your pals, otherwise you just get isolated.
When you get lost, and the thing is, I'm ex-military, and you're well aware of exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? So when you're in the military, you are trained and you are with people 24/7. You don't leave their side. You live, sleep, and eat with them. Do you know what I mean? So when you don't have that, and that's one of the things I miss massively, and that's where I think that I've only really seen it the last 18 months when I've been away from the military, if you like, completely. And I've seen it now, how isolating, or how much isolation there is in the civilian side of the world. It's working from home, or even when you go into the office, mate, nobody wants to talk to you. Whereas if I walked into a fucking tea bar, mate, full of fucking, RAF lads, mate, you'd be ripping the shit out of each other. There'd be an instant conversation. "Oh, do you see when fucking Dave did this? Do you know what I mean? When you did this?" And it's kind of, you miss that, having a cup of tea and you were playing cards, or you'd have a cup of tea, be playing darts, ping pong. It was just natural to do that. And when you come when you come away from that, you've really got to try hard, mate. And the thing is, it's so easy to blame the other person. It's so easy to say, "Oh, I'm not going to see Billy because he hasn't made a fucking effort with me, so I'm just going to cut my nose off to spite my own face." Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you sit there and you lose friendships. I mean, I've done it so many fucking times with Kieran, to the point where I'm like, he doesn't message me, so I'm just not going to bother. I think we're going through a little thing at this moment. He'll probably laugh if he hears this, because he used to ring me at 6 o'clock every day. And 6 o'clock's when I had my dinner. So, he used to ring me at 5:30 on the way home. And he'd be in his car, so we'd have a chat, catch up. And it became a bit of a routine, but it was a fun routine because I'd finish work and I'd normally have a catch up with him. And anyway, he stopped doing it because he finished work later, and then every time he rung was at 6:00. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's when I'm eating. So it became hard from when he's finished work to when I finish work. So he's just completely stopped doing it now, and then kind of gone into a little shell. And I said, do you want to come over? And he's like, nah, I'm doing this now. It's almost like a little bit of a stubborn phase. And men are fucking
Kieran,
weirdos,
if Kieran's listening now, mate, don't take it, mate. I totally feel your pain because he never answers my bloody calls ever.
I answer them. I do. Piss off.
Mate, you even said to me, I have to pre-warn you with a text message to give you at least 20 minutes advance notice that I'm going to call. I'd done that and called, and you still chinned me off.
Mate, I'm a nightmare. I look at the phone sometimes and I'm like, I just can't talk. It's like, but I don't like earlier on, mate, the surprise on your voice when I picked up the phone, because I was staring at the phone going, shall I speak or shall I just tell him we'll do it? I was like, no, speak, because you tried to ring him the other day and then I answered and you were like, wow.
Yeah.
You fucking answered. So Kieran's probably thinking, I'm just chinning him off, mate. He's not bothering with me. Because I think, mate, for me, I love seeing people face to face. So I'd rather, if people are going to phone and go, right, mate, I'm coming over, or I know it's a bit difficult for you, but I just need to be less of a dick with you when you're ringing. But for my mate, I'm like, just come over, or just fucking say, let's do something. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, I love to actually socialize rather than just talk all the time through a medium. But then at the same time, I don't think I'd be as happy if I didn't hear this, my close mates every day. That's where I feel now. This journey of bettering myself has absolutely encouraged me to, want to talk more and also not that, just engage more, make more of an effort. Because I did isolate myself when I joined Civvy Street. I just went, fuck it, I'm just going to shove myself in the corner. I've got a nice bar with a sofa and a big TV, and I almost made this my home. Do you know what I mean? And I just forgot that you need to socialise with human beings.
Mate, you've almost as well got to give yourself there's no out. You can't go, oh, you know what, I could do this instead. I could chin that guy off. I could do this, could do that, blah, blah, blah. You've got to have that 100%. No, I've got to do it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm like, mate. And that's why even, like, I know I rung you the other night, didn't I? And I rung you at like 9:20. I knew it was late, and I thought, well, he probably won't answer. But at the same time, I wanted to show you that even though, like, it's 9:20, I'm still, like, willing to fucking have a chat. And it was the same with Andy Walker. Andy, I didn't realise he was back on Facebook because he said to me he was leaving. And anyway, I felt like I hadn't spoke to him for a while. And we were kind of talking. So I messaged him and I said, are you back on Facebook yet? And he went, no, not fully, mate. But I said, well, I feel because he's not, I didn't see him. Do you know what I mean? So messaged him, and then all of a sudden, mate, he phoned me straight away. And normally I'd have gone, fucking hell, wow, he shocked me. But I was like, all right, I'll ring because I need to make more of an effort, because I did listen to the last thing you said was, fucking James, start answering your phone a bit more. And I do know that you do keep ripping the shit out of me for it. So I answered the phone, and do you know what he did, mate? He absolutely fucking unloaded on me. Like
Good, mate.
How shit a time he's having. His missus had just been rushed to fucking hospital. She was having a CT scan, and it was all happening, mate. And he was like, I'm in a really fucking shit place. So I was like, tell you what, mate, let go. Talk, not let go, but like let go as in talk to me now, open up to me now. And he opened up to me, mate, told me about his fucking parents, told me about his fucking struggles, his kids. He said a few things that you wouldn't expect to hear from someone like him, which does make it sound like he's having a bit of a rough time.
Well, mate, I think that's fantastic that he can confide in you, and you know what I mean, let's not talk about too much of what he spoke about, whatever. But it's just fantastic that he's got someone that he can talk to and he can open up to, and I genuinely think, and I genuinely believe that that's because you are so open and honest, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because
absolutely, mate. And I think that's why he latches on, because he knows for a fact that I'm, even when he was telling me about his parents, I unloaded about my parents, and I said, oh, mate, when I was going through the deepest depth of my depression, and I had an argument with my family, I called my mum and dad the C-bomb. Do you know what I mean? On a telephone call, and he went, really? And I was like, mate, I was in a really horrible place, mate, and I just wanted everyone to leave me alone. And, they weren't saying the right things that I wanted to hear. And he was saying, oh, and then he sort of kind of opened up and a bit more about his parents. And I went, well, that's just probably because of their historic fucking, their age. They don't think the same as you. But it was nice that he, like you said, what happened was we, from a 2-minute fucking text, turned into a 40-minute conversation where he was like, I really want to meet up with you, mate, even if you just come up for a cup of tea. Or even just, he actually said his missus is going away with the kids for the first 2 weeks of August. He said, just come over for the day. And he said, what did he say? He said something a bit, he said, I'll polish you off some food. And I went, you're not polishing anything off fucking mine, mate. That's what he said. But the way he put it, because he was talking, he goes, yeah, come over, mate, and I'll knock you up some grub and I'll polish you off some food. And I went, you're not polishing fucking anything off, mate. But,
I need
nice.
to speak to him, actually. Old Andy, because I'm really jealous, actually. So I bought a while back, I don't know if did I tell you about it? I wanted to get back into my roller skating, right?
Probably not, you chin me off.
Go on, mate. So I wanted to get back.
Are you talking about roller skating? Something I'm trying to get into,
mate. I tell you what, I wanted to get back into it.
I'm buying some Bowers and pop socks, mate.
Oh, mate, honestly, this is what I want to fucking do. So
mate, I'm buying next month some Bauer quads and some fucking pop socks, mate, and I'm going to roller discos, mate.
Mate, that is the way ahead. I am all for it. I want to get back into it. But let me tell you my story.
Yeah, sorry, go on. I digress, mate. I interrupted you. Go on.
So, I went ice skating. So a little bit of back history about me. I've done a little bit of ice skating back in my day.
I've done a little bit of this and that. Go on.
Yeah, played a little bit of ice hockey. I was, all right. weren't too bad. weren't the best. No, very far from the best, but I liked it, mate. I was, good at it. So anyway, I got really good at ice skating, and then I come back from Canada, and I didn't do it for a while, and then at Christmas there, just gone, me and the wife went and had a little ice hockey, ice skating thing up in London. And she couldn't skate. She's only been on the ice a couple of times, and she said, "Oh, can you drag me around?" And I had my ice hockey jersey on, being really cocky. So I'm sort of like dragging her around, and then she sort of looks at me and she goes, go on, look, I'll stay here. You want to go fast? And I was like, oh, yeah, all right. So anyway, mate, and I was like, when they say like, once you get back on you got to get back on a bike. It's like getting on a bike. You're back into it, mate. I was zipping in and out, mate. I was going all it, and it was packed as well. And I'm skidding and I'm putting ice into people's faces, mate. I was absolutely in my element again, mate. And she was videoing me. She was going, oh, yeah, really good. And then I'd sort of go, right, come on, grab on again, and we'd sort of go round, and I'd pull her around and what have you, and started trying to teach her to do some turns and twirls and stuff like that. Had a real good time. So I thought to myself, right, I've never been on inline skates before. I'm going to buy a set, and I found a set of these Nike Air, near enough brand new inline skates, right? Proper roller hockey skates, and they were down in Yeovil, which is down in like southern England for those people.
I know where Yeovil is, down the road from me.
No, but for the worldwide listeners.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm keeping it global, man.
Oh yeah, keep it global, mate. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So anyway. So I managed to get one of my mates, and this is what's good about being in the military is, you've got mates all over the place. And he was going home that weekend, and he collected them for me, and he brought them back. And anyway, I got them, mate, and they were just a tiny bit too small.
Oh,
mate, yeah. And like you were saying, I'd already ordered on eBay. I'd ordered my hockey socks to, roll down the sides of them. Yeah. I'd ordered my big snake laces and all that stuff ready for it and that. And they were just, when I got them, they were just that tiny bit too small. My toes were too cramped in the edge. So I was gutted. That I never, because I just wanted to skate about. Do you know what I mean? Skate around the estate. And anyway, I said, oh, bloody hell, well, I can't fit into them. I'll just put them on Facebook. And it was Andy who messaged me. He said, you still got them skates? And I was like, I have, mate. Yeah, of course I have. Yeah. He said, oh, I want to come round, try them on and that. And he tried them on. And they fitted him perfect, mate.
Nice.
And I
I was so jealous because I really wanted them skates to fit me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
didn't. They fitted him. So he got them, and hopefully he's now doing really well. Hopefully he's still using them, cutting about.
Oh, mate. Well, it's like exactly the same. And I mean, like, it's scary. Exactly the same thing happened. So I went ice skating about 2 months ago with the family. And I went and put the shitty ice skates on, the ones you get free in house.
Rentals.
They were going around, and I was like, I really want to enjoy this ice skating thing, but this is bollocks. So I went straight up to the fucking top of the thing, mate, and bought a £70. So they were like not really expensive, but £70 Bauer fucking inline fucking ice skates, mate, brand new. The guy he sharpened them up for me, laced me up, mate, went straight out, mate, and started cutting around. My missus was raging that I had these, and then as soon as I come back, my daughter goes, I want a pair of roller skates. So I bought some quads, and straight away I was like, that was last month. And then this month I was like, right, I'm getting some Bauer quads. And I looked online, and there's like some clubs that go around the town centre. They just skate around the town centre at night, mate. So I'm like, absolutely, mate. I'm fucking super excited about it. That and golf, mate. I've completely changed my dynamic.
I saw your video, mate. Was it you go with Kieran? Was it?
Yeah, just go local, mate. There's just a local 18-hole pitch and putt. But I do, as in a couple of months, when I can afford it, I'm trying to sell my wakeboard gear now because there's no point in me having it. It's mint condition, but it's like, I can't use it because of my back, so I might as well put it to something I can do. And the sale of those will ultimately pay for my next hobby, if you like. So
let me tell you this: golf clubs, right, are the biggest seller at boot sales and second shops, mate. You can pick up a gleaming set. Pick up a gleaming set, mate, of golf clubs for next to nothing because people do. They get these bloody golf clubs with the expectations they're going to be out on doing 18 holes every week, and they don't do it, mate. And they sit in the garage, and top of the range clubs because they're sort of like 1 year, 2 years out of date.
They're worth nothing.
Selling for fucking 10 pence, mate.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to a boot sale on Sunday, so we're going to do a boot sale. I've got some stuff to sell, and I was like, right, I'm going to go and have a look and there's quite a big one down the road, so I'm going to go and have a look, see if I can pick up some clubs, mate, and just go for it. Do you know what I mean?
You want to keep your eye out as well for a set of Bauer turbos, mate.
Bauer turbos, mate. Is that what you're looking at?
Mate, if you have a look on eBay now, set of Bauer turbos with cheese blocks, Z-dub bearings, neon wheels, snake laces and all stuff like that, mate, you're talking 350 quid at least.
That's dirty.
And that's second hand, mate. And I think back to my misspent youth of where I used to roller skate everywhere, mate, on my Bauer turbos.
Well, I used to have a snake board, mate. Do you remember snake boards?
Yeah, you said about it, mate.
Yeah, mate, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, so I was looking at them getting some Bauers, mate, but they're just so expensive. You can get some I think they're called Ventro quads. I mean, all the other ones, Rosess, of course, skates.
You'll have to send me a couple of links, mate.
I might just search for it on eBay, pal.
Yeah, send me a couple of names, like you just mentioned there, and I'll have a search on eBay.
Oh, what are the good ones, aren't mate? Yeah, but mate, I've done the same as you at the ice skating. So when we booked it, I went straight into garage, mate. Dug out my old CCM roller ice hockey skates.
Yeah.
The blades, they're still sharp, but they could have been doing with a little bit of sharpening. But I tell you what, it didn't stop me, mate. We got to the ice rink, and of course everyone's getting the rentals, and I'm looking at them, and they're like ski boots now, mate. They've got like 3 clips on them, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
And there was me, mate, with my CCM tacks, right, which probably not as good now, but back in the day, mate, the CCM tacks were the ice hockey skate to have, right. And I had, and I pulled them out, mate. And honestly, it took me about 20 minutes to lace them up. Just took so long. And like my missus is sat there, she's already clipped up. She was clipped up in about 20 seconds. Do you know what I mean? And there's me lacing them up, and she's going, hurry up. I'm saying, look, you got to take your time on these laces. You got to get it perfect. You don't want them uncomfortable and stuff like that. And I tell you what, it was worth their weight in gold, mate. They still had it. They were still going well.
Nice, mate. And that's it, mate. And do you know what? That, just like you said, hold on to those positives, mate. You're doing so much, mate. That's amazing. Absolutely incredible. And
Yeah.
that's why tomorrow you're going out for a fucking little gym session in the morning.
Yeah, I wish I was going out for a little roller skate now, though.
Oh, I know, mate. You've literally, as soon as I get off this podcast, mate, I am jumping straight on eBay.
Yeah.
To have a look.
Yeah. I mean, I did want to see what the inlines were like, because I've never done inlines, and I just thought ice skates, inlines, I should be all right.
Yeah, but I've seen because my daughter hangs around with a couple of other girls that have got like they all roller skate. They've got like a little roller skate gang, and she's only 12. So, but when I see the people,
Warriors come out to play.
when I see the inlines though, mate, the ankles are horrible. They're like inwards. They just don't look comfortable.
Yeah, but that's because you ain't going fast enough, mate.
Is that what it is?
Well, mate, it's once you get a bit of speed on you, mate, you're fully upright. You're fully upright.
Fully upright. You just, mate. I'm just about the quads, mate. I just think for me, quads is the epitome of Miami in the 80s.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Shorts on, mate, and just neon shit everywhere. Just like literally, like as if someone's put a fucking load of neon paint in a shotgun, stood in front of you, and just gone, fucking spuffed you full of like neon shit. I digress, mate.
I think you're going to have a big think about this, mate. With when you're going to purchase your skates, mate. What colour wheels you're going to get? Are you going to get two-tones, tones? Are you going to get solids? Are you going to get jellies?
Jellies, mate. Jelly.
And that's just the wheels. Then you've got to think, right, what bearings are going to come with the wheels? You want the Z-dubs, mate, the best bearings that you can get. But then you've got to think, right, well, what are you going to do? You're going to have stoppers on the front. You're going to have stoppers on the back. You're going to have both stoppers. You're going to have put cheese blocks in to raise your heels up to get a little bit faster. What colour are your hockey socks going to be? Mate, it's an exciting process.
See, and that's what I mean. I'm excited about this. This is what it's about, mate. Excitement. Just picking a set of wheels, mate, is getting me excited.
Oh mate, I've got to go to a couple of boot sales, mate, because I can't afford this £350 for a set of turbos, mate. You know what I mean? I've picked some fucking right bargains up, mate, and I think that this Sunday, mate, it's going to be 26 degrees, mate. It's got good shit written all over it. Yeah. That's the stuff legends are made of, mate.
Exactly, mate. Right, buddy, it's 10 o'clock, mate. I'm going to get shouted at.
Yeah, Rog, I haven't even had my dinner yet.
No, I haven't either. I'm just going to have a bowl of cereal, mate, and then a pint.
Oh, I tell you what, don't let bloody Kieran hear that, mate. He would have been trying to give you a call at 6 o'clock, but he's chinned you off because you normally have your dinner at 6.
I know, mate. He's chinned me off, mate. That's what I mean. He's made me feel shit, and I hope he's listening to this and he goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
I hope he listens to it and he goes, "Oh, well, he said just pop round." And he pops round tomorrow at 6 o'clock, knocks on your door, and you open it up and you're like, "Mate, I'm having my dinner."
Yeah, I'll tell him, number one, I'd be impressed because it's his missus' birthday. Number two, I'd be even more impressed if he did do that. And then I'd stand there and go, "Yeah, what do you want, mate? I'm having my dinner. Come back in an hour."
Oh, quality, mate. Well, listen, it's been good catch up, mate. And, I think we've touched on quite a few subjects there. We've touched on the mental health, as well as, staying in touch with mates and, hobbies, activities and stuff like that, mate. So good. I think good.
I've come away huge positive, mate. And like I say, it's invaluable talking and being open and honest, mate. And like I say, I value talking to you, and you're in that group of my friends, and it's absolutely amazing, mate. And I think that everybody needs to nurture the right people around them because it does make you feel amazing. It does push you. And like I say, tomorrow, expect a message from me in the morning to say you better be out running.
Yeah, fair one, mate. That's a good call. Yeah, well, hopefully I won't get that message till I come back in.
Exactly, mate. And then you come back in and you go, "Done it, mate." And I go, "Fucking spot on. Now enjoy the day."
Rog.
All right then, buddy.
All right, mate. Well, listen, I'll speak to you soon, yeah?
Yeah, mate, definitely. Always a pleasure. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, mate. Anyway, I'm coming over to Ireland, to thingy, aren't I?
Yeah.
Nearly. Nearly.
All right, dude. Well, listen, thanks to everyone else for listening and all your comments and that, and Julian for putting his comments on.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks very much. Cheers, Billster, and I'll speak to you soon.
See you later, dude.
Cheers, mate. Bye.